Need more firepower.
12-gauge steel slugs. Armor piercing.
Vandor, you better punch through, man. Just punch through, please. Holy moly. What? Big hit, big hit. Here we go. I absolutely love Lance Reddick. He's a fantastic actor, except when he plays Albert Wesker. Still a good actor, but not the right role for him. Anyways, let's talk about Vandor Chewie. So Vandor Chewie. Vandor Chewbacca has got to be probably one of my top 10 favorite characters in the game. I absolutely love his kit. He's incredibly easy to mod. That's a big plus for me. I don't like characters that are very mod dependent, because sometimes the return on the investment isn't there sometimes. But Vandor Chewie, very easy to mod. We'll go through that in just a second. But this is a character that's just very, very universal and just so plug and play. So let's go over why I think he might end up on the Jabba team. So let's go over the kit real quick for those who aren't familiar with the character. His basic, it's pretty simple. Deal physical damage to the target enemy. If it's his turn, he gets advantage for 2 turns. This attack ignores defense. Doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, but that one advantage is pretty key. Freedom Fighter. This is where things just go crazy, okay? So he deal physical damage based on his max health instead of his attack damage, okay? So kind of like General Grievous, or I guess now Malgus, to the target enemy twice, okay? So his max health 2 times, okay? Target other ally receives health equal to 50% of the damage dealt. So it's also a heal, which is kind of cool. And he's also going to be healing too, because I mean there's health steal and he's going to be hitting really, really hard. Anyways, then Chewbacca and the target ally gain protection up 30% for 2 turns if he is prepared. Now this is where it's awesome. This is where it's pretty awesome. And by the way, that bonus protection is a lot on Vandor Chewie. If he's prepared, he deals double damage for this attack and recovers health equal to 50% of the damage dealt. Okay, so you're gonna have health steal on top of that, but then it's basically a full heal for him. I mean, honestly, it's kind of nuts. And then you reduce the ability's cooldown by 2. So that means you can cycle this every, like, pretty much 3 turns. It's kind of cool. And then you grant all prepared allies protection up 30% for 2 turns. Then he's no longer prepared. So yeah, you are consuming prepared, but if you're under a Dash Rendar team with the Omicron, you don't have to worry about that. You can just use this ability as you wish. The Beast. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing on like how to mod him. So Vandor Chewie has 40% less max protection. So whatever his max protection is, he's gonna lose 40% of it. So there's not really a point, and he is a tank, which is kind of weird, but there's not really a point to modding him for protection. You really just want to stack on health. But he gets 80% more max health, okay? So that's why you want to capitalize on the health. He does damage based on his max health, and you want his protection pool to be small, and we'll go over that in his other unique as well. In addition, all enemies deal minus 25% damage while he is buffed. Okay, so that's huge. Minus 25% damage across the board. So we're talking special damage, physical damage, crit damage, true damage, anything, any type of, or even massive damage, I believe. Any type of damage that they deal that's not percentage health based, they're dealing a quarter less, pretty much. That's why sometimes you'll see Vandor Chewie under a Rey team, because Rey, like, pretty much nullifies a lot of incoming damage with a Lifeblood. Then on top of that, you have Vandor Chewie taking another minus 25%, so it's just like your damage is getting nerfed into the ground really, really quickly. So and all he has to do is be buffed. He just has to be buffed. All right, Ferocious Protector. Now this is really wordy. I'm gonna read it word for word, and then I'm gonna give you guys my version of it. That way you can understand it a little bit better, because the way it's worded, it took me forever. When this guy came out, it took me forever to understand this kit, and even then sometimes like people still get confused. Okay, so while he's buffed, he has 100% counter chance at the end of the turn. Chewie is, while he's buffed, if any allies took damage, okay, any ally took damage from an attack and Chewie did not, he recovers protection equal to 10% of his max health, and other Scoundrel allies recover half of that amount, okay? When Chewbacca recovers to max protection, he becomes prepared this way. So basically, as long as he fills up his own protection bar by himself, That's how he becomes prepared over and over and over. And this counts upon if somebody dies and he uses prepared to bring somebody back, he will regain it as long as he didn't take damage. When another light side Scoundrel ally is defeated, revive that ally at 60% health if he is prepared, and then he is no longer prepared. Okay, so super wordy, a lot of weird clauses here, so I'm going to pretty much give you guys the Cliff Notes version. So, pretty much, anytime he is buffed and anyone else takes damage, he recovers protection based on his max health. So if we give him this small protection pool, but huge health pool, it's a lot easier to fill up that small protection pool because he's recovering protection based on a percentage from his max health. So big health pool, small protection pool, he recovers it a lot quicker. And that's anytime somebody takes damage, as long as he doesn't take damage and he's buffed. Basically, if he's buffed, he's good. If he's not buffed, nothing's happening. You're not getting the minus 25% damage. You're not getting protection recovery. So as long as he is buffed, just keep him buffed. You know, give him a lock buff. Give him something. That's why, like, you know, with Raid, they give him Lifeblood or whatever. Or if I use Dash Cat, I will give him Sheehan because it's a lock buff. All right, so let's move on to modding. Modding is super easy. It's literally just health, 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 health. Okay? Speed is not a big issue on this guy. You really don't need to mod him as a tank because he's not taunting. He's a horrible tank, by the way. Like, if you ever give him taunt, he will die. But yeah, just don't worry about the speed. I think mine's a little bit on the faster side. 219, yeah, that's fast. This is like the best way to mod him. I do have a little bit of protection. Okay, I'm guilty, but you don't want anything here. You don't want anything under the protection. You want that thing just to have a white number. No mods adding to that protection pool. I do have a little bit from a secondary, unfortunately, but you know, it's not the end of the world. If you have a little bit, it's okay. But essentially, that's kind of what you want to look at. You want to make sure his health pool is way bigger than his protection pool. All right, so I want to talk about why I think Jabba might want Vandor Chewie on the team. This is some old footage I have from a while back, but I used to run Vandor under JMK with Clone Wars Chewie and Cat. There were definitely some pros and cons to it, and I think sometimes when we sacrifice mechanics to gain other mechanics, sometimes those benefits outweigh what we're losing. So for example, right here, we didn't lose our Clone Wars Chewie because our Vandor brought him back. Clone Wars Chewie is Galactic Republic, but he's also a scoundrel, just like Cat. So and the nice thing here is, you know, my opponent's doing minus 25% damage because our Vandor Chewie is buffed. So I think Jabba the Hutt, I really hope he's not going to be so focused on Hutt Cartel. They did say he's going to have Scoundrel synergy and Bounty Hunter synergy. I'm just hoping they don't mean Bounty Hunters and Scoundrels with the Hutt Cartel tag. You know what I mean? Like we're just like kind of keeping everybody in this little box. Just because it just, you know, kind of occurred to me, if we have a Galactic Legend that is a Scoundrel, and Vandor Chewie is someone who just recovers protection like crazy, then like, that might be a good mechanic. Now, however, we aren't going to get the revive mechanic, because he only revives light side Scoundrels, but, you know, if Jabba does have a Scoundrel synergy, and we can fill that team with light side Scoundrels, it might be worth it. I definitely think there's multiple variations to a Galactic Legend team. So I'm really hoping that, you know, when we get Jabba and we see his kit, Vandor can be a really good plug and play on there, because I think he might be that like odd character. You know, sometimes that after Galactic Legend releases, someone throws a weird character on there and it kind of screws everything up. Like it screws the common counter, I should say. Like look at our Vandor. He just full protection, and then Ahsoka, she's getting her protection back. It's just like we're recovering more health than the damage they're dealing. It's kind of funny. Yeah, like look, just gets it right back. And then he does decent damage too. So that's the other thing too. So I mean, let's take a look at some of the clips from Twitch. Well, here's a clip that you guys saw at the beginning of the video, but I just kind of want to go over like how and what's going on here. I mean, so we have a couple things that are going for us. Obviously, we have the advantage on Vandor, so we're going to crit no matter what. We have prepared, so it's going to deal double damage twice. That life steal is insane. And then C also has defense down, so it's not like a clear cut, but those damage numbers are kind of funny. That's a Galactic Legend, so you have to remember he's taking a minus 30% damage. So if those of you that want to figure out what that actually was, there's your homework. Okay, so for this one, you know, Cat was there. We already yeeted Cat, and then with my Cat, and then yeah, so we got defense down on Mace. We got offense up. We have advantage and crit damage up on Vandor Chewy. So we got a lot of things going for us here. And yeah, that's a lot of damage. Well, that's gonna be it for today, guys. I just want to talk about Vandor Chewy real quick and kind of just get the idea rolling. I know there's a lot of things going on in the game right now in terms of requirements for the profundity. People are still working on Malgus, and then you also have you know, pretty much. And then you have Jabba. So there's a lot going on in the, and don't forget about Inquisitors. There's a lot in the game right now. But I think that's one of those characters that you might want to consider working on. I think he's definitely worthy of an R7. Definitely an R8 if you could spare it. I would not recommend doing an R9 Vandor. I mean, it makes sense because he's a tank, but we don't know what kind of R9s or how many R9s we need for Jabba yet. So I would say just kind of hold back on the R9s. But yeah, definitely get into R7. I think R7, he's fantastic. R8 even better. If you can afford it, like I said. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today. As always, you guys are awesome. Please feel free to subscribe, leave me a like, or, you know, leave a comment. What do you think about Vandor Chewy, or how are you using your Vandor Chewy? I'd love to hear it, because that guy can almost go anywhere, honestly. He can kind of go just about anywhere in the game. It's pretty remarkable how theory crafting friendly he is, and I really hope that's what Jabba's going to be going forward. But other than that, guys, I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.